Okay, so you want to talk about Prince William's eating habits? It's way more interesting than it sounds, trust me. It's not just about picky eating, it's about power, tradition, and a whole lot of security. I mean, the guy's gonna be king, so every bite he takes is kinda a political statement, whether he likes it or not. Let's start with the obvious the security stuff. Think about it. This dude is a walking, talking national treasure. You can't just have him chowing down on street food from some random vendor during a royal tour. I'm not saying every vendor is a potential assassin, but you gotta be careful, right? So, tap water abroad? Forget about it. Bottled water only, even for washing salads. It sounds extreme, but one bout of Delhi Belly and the whole diplomatic mission goes sideways. Millions of dollars, years of planning, all down the drain because Will decided to hydrate with the local H2O. Not gonna happen. And rare meat? Same deal. Food poisoning is a non starter. Medium well, at least. No room for culinary risks when you've got a packed schedule of ribbon cuttings and handshakes. It's less about him being a foodie and more about him being a functional head of state. It's kind of sad, actually. Imagine never getting to enjoy a perfectly cooked, slightly bloody steak just because you were born into royalty. Talk about a first world problem, huh? Then there's the whole no gifts of food from the public thing. Again, security. As lovely as that homemade apple pie might look, you can't exactly run it through a lab to check for poison before Prince William takes a bite. So everything gets politely declined and quietly disposed of. It's a harsh reality, but it's the world they live in. Every single day they have to think about this, and it must be exhausting. Now let's get to the more interesting stuff, the traditions and personal quirks. The garlic ban, for instance. That's all Queen Elizabeth. Apparently, she hated garlic, so it was banished from Buckingham Palace. And since the royals spend their days chatting with world leaders and important people, you can't have them breathing fire, right? So, no garlic. It's kind of funny how one person's dislike can become a royal decree. It shows you the power that woman wielded even over something as trivial as dinner. She was a force of nature, that one, and her influence is still felt today. And then there's Prince William's aversion to tomatoes. Apparently, he just doesn't like them. Not in soup, not in sauce, not really anywhere. It's a simple human thing, a little crack in the royal facade. It's a reminder that even future kings have their own weird little preferences. It's almost endearing, like he might be a prince, but he's still just a guy who hates tomatoes. It's the kind of detail that makes them seem a little more relatable, a little less like untouchable deities, and that brings us to the optics of it all. You'll never see Prince William publicly scarfing down a burger and fries. He might sneak a Nando's in private, and he's been spotted getting fish and chips with Kate, but official engagements are a different story. It's about maintaining the image of the crown, formal, controlled, traditional. It's a performance, really. He's playing a role, and that role doesn't involve greasy food and messy eating. It's a fascinating glimpse into the constraints and expectations that come with being royal. It's not all castles and jewels. It's also about sacrificing personal preferences for the sake of duty and security. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What would you give up for that kind of life? A perfectly cooked steak? Spicy food? The freedom to drink tap water? It's a tough call. Okay, so what else is on the royal no-no list? Soup at state banquets. I mean, can you imagine all that clinking and slurping in a giant echoey room? Total disaster waiting to happen. One wrong move and you've got soup all over some dignitary's suit. Not a good look. So, soup's out. Light, manageable appetizers only. It's all about minimizing risk and maintaining that perfect, polished image. You gotta wonder how much planning goes into these dinners. It's insane. Then there's the whole foie gras thing. Now, this isn't about security or etiquette. This is about ethics. Prince Charles, now King Charles, has always been a big advocate for animal welfare, and foie gras production is pretty brutal. Force-feeding ducks and geese? Not cool. So, he banned it from all royal menus back in 2008, and Prince William's totally on board. It's a good look for the monarchy, showing they care about these issues. It's a smart move, honestly. The royals have to stay relevant, and being seen as ethical and environmentally conscious is a big part of that. And let's not forget shellfish. Oysters, clams, lobster, all potential food poisoning hazards. And again, you can't have a royal laid up in bed with a bad case of shellfish poisoning. It's a security risk, a diplomatic liability, the whole shebang. So, shellfish is generally avoided, especially when they're traveling. I've heard some of the younger royals might sneak some shellfish when they're off duty, but officially, it's a no go. It's kind of ironic. They're surrounded by luxury, but they can't even enjoy a plate of fresh oysters without worrying about the consequences. But here's the thing, all these rules and restrictions, they're not just about the food itself. They're about power, about control, about maintaining the image of the monarchy. Every single thing they eat, every single event they attend, it's all carefully orchestrated and managed. And, it makes you think about the human cost of all this. Imagine living your whole life under that kind of scrutiny, where every single choice you make is analyzed and judged. It must be exhausting. And sure, they get to live in palaces and travel the world, but they also give up a lot of their personal freedom. It's a weird trade-off, isn't it? They get to be royal, but they also have to conform to these ancient traditions and protocols. They have to put duty before desire, security before personal preference. And in the end, you gotta wonder if it's all worth it. I mean, is being king really all that great if you can't even enjoy a simple plate of spaghetti with tomato sauce? I think people are fascinated by the royals for a reason. It's not just about the glamour and the fairy tales, it's about the human drama, the struggles, the sacrifices. It's about seeing people who are born into extraordinary circumstances trying to navigate the ordinary challenges of life. And sometimes, those challenges are as simple as figuring out what to eat for dinner. And let's be real, it's also about the gossip. We all love a good royal scandal, and these food rules, they're just another little peek behind the curtain. It's a reminder that even these seemingly perfect people have their quirks, their flaws, their weird little habits. And that's what makes them human, even if they are royalty. So it's not just about what they can't eat, right? It's about what that says about the whole institution. They're basically living in a gilded cage, and their diet is just one more bar. I mean, think about the message it sends. No fast food in public? It's like they're saying, we're better than you. We don't eat that peasant food. Even if that's not what they mean, that's how it comes across. It reinforces this idea that they're somehow above the rest of us. And in this day and age, that's a dangerous game to play. People are already pissed off about inequality, and seeing a prince refuse a burger just fuels the fire. And the tap water thing? Look, I get it, security and all that. But it also screams privilege. Like, regular people drink the water and they're fine, but the royals? Oh no, they're too delicate for that. It's a bad look, especially when they're traveling to countries where clean water is a real issue. It's like rubbing their noses in it. The garlic thing is just plain weird though. I mean, who bans garlic? It's like banning happiness. But it speaks to the power of tradition, right? One person's dislike becomes a rule for everyone. It's insane. And it makes you wonder what other ridiculous rules they're living under just because some queen from centuries ago had a weird hang-up. And then there's the foie gras ban. Okay, I'll give him credit for that one. That's actually a good thing. It shows they're at least trying to be ethical, even if it's just for PR purposes. But still, it's a step in the right direction. And honestly, foie gras is kind of gross anyway. But the shellfish rule, that's the one that really gets me. It's the ultimate example of duty over desire. Like, imagine being a foodie and knowing you can't ever truly enjoy a seafood platter without risking a national crisis. It's a messed up situation. They're basically sacrificing their taste buds for the good of the crown. Talk about commitment. And the tomato thing? It's just funny. It's a reminder that they're still human, even if they live in palaces and wear crowns. They have their own weird quirks and preferences, just like the rest of us. It's almost comforting in a way. Like, okay, maybe they're not so different after all. But here's the real question. Are these rules actually necessary? Or are they just outdated traditions that need to be thrown out? I mean, it's the 21st century. Can't we trust the chefs to cook the meat properly? Can't we let Prince William enjoy a damn burger in peace? I think the monarchy needs to modernize, and that includes ditching some of these ridiculous food rules. It's not about being relatable, it's about being relevant. They need to show people that they understand the world we live in, and that they're not just living in some fantasy land. And honestly, a prince eating a burger in public might actually be a good thing. It would show that they're not afraid to be seen as normal people. It would break down some of those barriers and make them seem more approachable. But I doubt it'll happen. They're too stuck in their ways. They're too afraid of breaking tradition. And that's why the monarchy is slowly dying. They're clinging to the past instead